The newly acquainted couple quaintly chuckled behind the muffling door. Inside the apartment, the pair separated and embraced separate regions of the living space. Victoria followed verbal instruction towards the kitchen. Shane sat himself upon an old, dusty chair. The wood squeaked underneath him as he carelessly scanned through his mail. It was not often that Shane indulged himself with the presence of a woman. For him, a recluse was a far more appropriate title than a ladies' man. However, it appeared on this abnormality of a night, the mere stranger he had invited up to his apartment had no intentions whatsoever to partake in romance. Instead, she had simply conversed with him over a few long-lasting moments and made the offer of a homemade meal. It was true that in his present state, Shane was awfully starved, and because of distractions with work, he hadn't had a meal at home in quite some time. As the noises of Victoria preparing dinner were drowned out by Shane's own thoughts, a particular letter in the pile seemed to catch his eye. This particular piece of mail had no envelope and was instead bound with dirt-covered thread. The paper's texture was rough and scratched at Shane's fingers like sandpaper. The address was handwritten in a smudgy haste, and upon opening the intriguing scripture, he discovered the letter was written in the same fashion. With a piqued curiosity, Shane read the letter. Dear Shane, unfortunately, I submit this letter to you in an almost inverse rationality than our previous writing during our boyhood. To ease your probable curiosity and slight worry, I say this. Do not fear. It is only your dear friend, Stuart Godfrey. However, do not misunderstand me in my words, do not fear. For I believe that your fear is quite warranted. I am currently sending you my last words. These scribbled markings capture a simple message. You are not safe. To you, the world, and myself, I offer my apology for your damnation. In my explorations for knowledge, I uncovered a supernatural realm, the likes of which I wish I could preserve in my final moments. Even though I feel compelled to document its mystic beauty. It is the horror that stalked me through it that I must reveal. A beast with abilities far beyond our own hunted me. This creature of transparent bones, silver blood, and mangled flesh disorients its form to uncontrollable proportions. It conceals itself into any object it wishes. A complete replica. I apologize, for I released it into our world. Now I fear it has the capability to morph into humans itself. Be careful, Shane. Don't trust others. It could be anyone. Dinner's ready, Shane heard Victoria call from the kitchen. He reconsidered the bringing of a complete stranger into his own apartment. Though, it did seem to be the best place. He crumpled up the useless letter and stood up. He was tired of sitting around. He'd done it too long. He'd had legs now. Shane walked into the kitchen and smiled. After all, it was time to eat.